Para seguir hoy, estamos con Denise Campos y John Garcia de SoCal Gas, que los vamos a invitar en este momento. A ver, déjenme si están ahí.
Hola, buenos días.
Hola Denise, ¿cómo estás?
Muy bien, ¿y tú?
Perfecto, perfecto. Denise, ustedes nos van a hablar sobre navegando COVID-19 y encontrando empleo. Solamente le quiero hacer recordar a todos nuestros participantes que si desean participar en los talleres del grupo 2, 3 o 4, tenían los talleres hace un minuto en la pantalla. Si es que desean participar en estos talleres, los invito a que vayan a superatela.com, donde van a poder ver los enlaces y participar en estos talleres. Una vez más, eso es superatela.com. Denise, te dejo con la pantalla para que la puedas compartir, si eso es lo que tienes, una presentación.
No tengo algo que compartir en cuanto a la pantalla, pero sí estamos preparados para compartir sobre oportunidades en SoCal Gas.
Perfecto, entonces la pantalla es tuya. Gracias.
Okay. Gracias. Hola, buenos días a todos. Bienvenidos a la feria virtual de trabajo. Están en el taller de SoCal Gas. Me llamo Denise Campos y me acompaña mi colega John Garcia. Este taller va a ser en inglés y en español. Les voy a dar información sobre SoCal Gas o la compañía de gas, cómo hemos respondido a la crisis de COVID, sobre programas de descuentos para nuestros clientes y que les puede ayudar a ahorrar dinero. Y mi colega John, que trabaja en nuestro departamento de recursos humanos, les hablará cómo pueden trabajar con nosotros. John les va a hablar en inglés y yo en español. Y sí les quería comentar que para trabajar en SoCal Gas sí necesitan hablar inglés. Primero les quería compartir sobre el gas en general y la compañía de gas. Mucha gente no se pone a pensar de dónde viene nuestra energía, simplemente queremos que prenda la luz o la estufa. Y el gas proporciona como 60% de la energía para tener electricidad en todo el estado de California. Y también el gas proporciona energía para cocinar en nuestras estufas de gas, las secadoras de ropa y la calefacción en nuestros hogares. Y SoCal Gas se ha comprometido a ser la compañía de gas más limpia del país. Para el año 2030, 20% de nuestro gas vendrá de formas renovables, así que será más limpio que hoy. ¿Y eso cómo está pasando? Capturamos el metano de granjas que dejan las vacas y ese gas ya se está usando en nuestras pipas desde hoy. SoCal Gas tiene más de 150 años de servir a nuestros clientes y somos la compañía más grande de distribución de gas natural en el país. Y servimos a más de 22 millones de clientes. Nuestro territorio, y esto es importante porque quiere decir que hay trabajos a través de todo nuestro territorio, es más de 20,000 millas a través del centro y sur de California. Así es que servimos a clientes desde Visalia, Tulare, hasta la frontera mexicana, hasta allá. Somos un negocio que el estado de California considera esencial, así que aunque estamos en una pandemia, estamos contratando a personas para trabajar con nosotros. Ahora les voy a comentar cómo hemos respondido a la crisis del COVID para asistir a nuestros clientes. El COVID nos ha afectado a todos y SoCal Gas está tomando medidas para ayudar a nuestros clientes. Hemos suspendido las desconexiones de servicio hasta nuevo aviso. Esto significa que ningún cliente tendrá su gas natural apagado debido a falta de pago. También lanzamos una campaña titulada SoCal Gas Cares para los clientes cuyos ingresos tal vez han cambiado recientemente debido al brote de coronavirus. Esta campaña busca ayudar e informar a los clientes sobre los requisitos que deben cumplir para tener derecho a participar en nuestro programa de asistencia tarifas alternas para energía en California, o CARE, que es el ahorro de 20% en sus facturas mensuales. Y esto es importante porque 1 de cada 3 clientes en SoCal Gas califica para este descuento de 20%. También SoCal Gas y Sempra han donado más de $3 millones para varias organizaciones sin fines de lucro que están ayudando a nuestras comunidades con asistencia durante esta crisis. Para más información sobre estos programas para ahorrar en sus facturas de gas natural, también les quería comentar que a la misma población califica, aparte del descuento de 20%, pueden calificar para tener mejoras en su hogar para ahorrar energía gratuitas. Eso quiere decir que pueden ponerles insulación en el techo o diferentes cosas para ahorrar energía. Para más información pueden llamarnos, anoten al 1-800-342-4545 o pueden visitar socalgas.com. Una vez más, el número es el 1-800-342-4545 y esto es para poder recibir descuentos para los clientes. Ahora les vamos a hablar de los trabajos. Si están ahora aquí para informarse de trabajos, es una muy buena compañía con muchas oportunidades, pero como les comenté anteriormente, sí es esencial que hablen inglés para trabajar en SoCal Gas. Y mi colega John, que va a hablar después de mí, que trabaja en recursos humanos, les va a compartir más información sobre trabajos. Pero primero les quería decir que tenemos oportunidades para varios tipos de carreras. Tenemos puestos profesionales, como por ejemplo negocios, finanzas, ingeniería y varias otras oportunidades, y el sueldo comienza a $70,000 al año. También hay puestos de carreras técnicas, como en construcción, y comienzan a $33.47 por hora, y estos colegas están representados por uniones laborales. Si pertenecen a SoCal Gas, no es solo ser parte de una compañía, sino también es ser parte de nuestra familia. Tenemos mucho orgullo en nuestro trabajo y les invito a visitar socalgas.com careers para más información. Ahora le voy a pasar el micrófono o la cámara a mi colega John. So John, you can take it from here to talk about careers at SoCal Gas. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Denise. I do want to mention to you regarding SoCal Gas, because of the size of our organization. It is a large organization, and so therefore we have jobs not only in a variety of different contexts, but also throughout our service territory. Again, my name is John Garcia, and I am the Workforce Readiness Program Manager for Southern California Gas Company. And so I work in human resources, and that's what we do. We reach out to the community. We try to provide job opportunities for people who are looking for employment, and specifically, looking for employment in a reliable organization such as ours. So having said that, again, we are a large organization, 20,000 square miles throughout Central and Southern California, like Denise had indicated, 20 million customers. And I think one of the important things about telling you about the history of our company and the future of our company is just that we're essential. We're part of the fabric of California. We're an essential business in California, and not only are we working, we are hiring during the pandemic. So that's not slowing us down at all. So if you're interested in reliable full-time employment in a variety of professional disciplines, we have a lot to offer. All of our jobs are going to be posted at our website, socalgas.com/careers. That's the only way to apply for a job at the gas company. So that's what we need to have you do. And those jobs that are on the website are going to change every day. And so you need to look at that website regularly. Right now, today, we have 47 jobs posted on our website. These jobs range from engineering to cybersecurity, marketing, business operations. Again, a company of our size has jobs in a variety of ways, because we run a large business. So anything that's required to run a large business, we hire lawyers, we hire accountants, we hire people in human resources. But we also have a lot of field employees. The majority of our jobs are field employees that go out and work on the pipeline, doing some kind of construction work, or some appliance technician type of positions, or where you go into people's homes and help them out with their gas-fired appliances. So there are a variety of different jobs. The professional jobs are going to require a bachelor's degree in whatever area you're looking at, whether it be engineering or finance. Again, those jobs are going to start at anywhere from $65,000 to $70,000 a year. The technical jobs, working in construction, or again, those gas appliance technician type of positions, those are union jobs. Those are reliable union jobs with full union benefits, and they start about $35 an hour, depending on the situation. Now, we also have, 2 call centers where we have customer service representatives that handle the phones, listening to our customers, answering questions for our customers. Those jobs are in San Dimas and in Redlands. Those are the 2 call centers that we have. And so all jobs are going to be there. So depending on where you are geographically, that may or may not work out for you, but that's what we have to offer. And those jobs have very little in terms of minimum qualifications. You do have to have some kind of experience working with customers. But for the most part, you will be trained to do the job that we ask you to do, as you will for any job that you apply for at the gas company. So if you do decide to look into working for the gas company, you'll notice that you immediately that you're not just joining a company, you're joining a family. Despite our size, we are a family-oriented company. Our culture is very personal and friendly. We take a lot of pride in our work, and we take care of each other. So again, the website, socalgas.com/careers. That's where you're going to find all the jobs that we have available for you. And the time that we have here today is most valuable really in interaction. So I think most people know what an accountant does. Most people know what an engineer does, and even in construction, you know what it means to dig up the streets and to use the equipment necessary to build and to take care of equipment. The issue is what's happening and what it's more about you and what we can do for you. Where are your skills? What is your background? So the chat feature is really important. If you have questions so that way we can know exactly what you need to do in order to take advantage of these opportunities.
Thank you, John. So now if anybody has any questions, you can feel free to type them in the chat box. Someone is asking, I am an apprentice carpenter still working on my GED. Do I qualify?
Well, unfortunately, no. All the jobs at the gas company are going to require either a high school diploma or a GED. If you're an apprentice carpenter and you're working out there in industry, once you get that GED, you will meet the minimum qualifications for some of these appliance technician jobs or construction jobs. You have to have either the work experience or the training necessary, and again, the minimum would be the high school diploma or the GED. You also have to have a valid California driver's license, and you have to have a clean driving record. So that's important to know as well. We do background checks, we do DMV checks, because you will be driving a company vehicle. And so therefore, we need to be able to insure you, and we need to make sure that you have a license and that you have a clean driving record. But that's a good question.
¿Alguien más tiene alguna otra pregunta para John o para mí? Pueden escribir sus preguntas en la cajita de chat a la mano derecha en su pantalla. Does anyone else have any other questions?
Well, Denise, I guess I have a question. Is that okay? Does
Sure.
that work?
That's
Can I have a question?
perfect.
So I'm wondering, you guys have been around forever, of course. What makes SoCal Gas such a great employer?
John, do you want me to go first, or do you want to go?
Well, yeah, you can go ahead and go. I think I've got my something I could say. But yeah, go ahead.
And you know what? It would be great if maybe Denise can answer it in Spanish and John can answer it in English also. Can we do that?
Sure. Una de las razones que me encanta trabajar en SoCal Gas es que es un lugar muy estable. Ahorita estamos viendo una crisis económica que nunca se ha visto, pero la gente continúa usando el gas. Entonces quiere decir que tenemos trabajos muy estables, donde no estamos viendo desempleo. De hecho, estamos contratando nuevos empleados. Y aparte la cultura de la compañía es muy positiva y hay muchos beneficios en trabajar en SoCal Gas, así es que ha sido una buena compañía. Yo ya tengo aquí como 8 años. John?
Well, I think one of the best things about working at SoCal Gas is the history. We've been around 150 years. We plan on being around another 150 years. So it's a reliable company. It's very solid. It is, despite its size, it is very, very family oriented. And when people join the gas company, they don't leave. People will join the company at various stages in their career, and they will retire at the gas company. Very few people will come in and then leave quickly thereafter, because it is such a great place. And we do support, we hire from within. One of the issues that we have with not knowing where our jobs are going to be is because before we reach out to the community to hire, we look internally to see if anybody internally wants a particular job that's open. And so we will promote from within always. And so there's a lot of internal movement. There's a lot of promotional opportunities. Whatever you want to do, if you want to move up the ladder or if you want to move to a different location, there are all sorts of opportunities once you're at the gas company. It's only until we've exhausted all our internal resources do we then go out to the community and try to hire from outside and bring people in. Like I said, once people are in, they're in for good. And I think that's one of the values of having a company that's been around for so long.
I'm going to be nosy once again, if you don't mind. And this question is for both John and Denise. I guess, what are the benefits for a blue collar worker in SoCal Gas?
John, I'll let you answer that since you're the HR expert.
Sure, absolutely. The quote unquote blue collar jobs that you're referring to, those are our field jobs or construction jobs or technician jobs. These are all union jobs. So the kind of things that you envision when you talk about a union job, those are the benefits that are available as well. Full medical, dental, vision, 401k. There's a retirement plan on top of the 401k. The company sponsors a retirement plan for the union employees, and then they also have the option of using a 401k to save for their own retirement. So they have really kind of two retirement systems going on simultaneously. So between all the normal benefits in terms of insurance, we have retirement benefits, and of course, you're going to have, initially you're going to have a week of vacation. That week is going to turn into 2, which is going to turn into 3, which is going to turn into 4. Very quickly, as the longer you're here, the more vacation time you get. You're going to get 9 holidays, paid holidays a year. And I think one of the important benefits is just the fact that it's year round, it's daily. A lot of industries fluctuate, especially in construction, where it's project based. When the project's over, you're temporarily laid off. You're out of work for a while till a new project comes by. If the weather is inclement, you may be off work for a while. And different industries go through ups and downs. We work 24/7 and we work 365 days a year, and so we're always open, and we have these jobs that are going to be there. You're going to work in year round, not only weekly, monthly, yearly. You're going to work all the time.
Certainly, if that's what you're looking for, that's a great option, and I assume that everybody's looking for year-round work, right? Nobody wants to take some time off unless it's a vacation. So knowing that you have a stable place of work, that's a relief nowadays.
Definitely, John. And I don't know if you can clarify this, but I had heard years ago that like 50% of our workforce was eligible for retirement. So I don't know if that's still true today, but that just shows the need to hire qualified people now and in the future to fill so many positions.
Yeah, those numbers are down a little bit now, but the reason they're down a little bit now is because so many people have retired. That those 50% people eligible to retire, a lot of them have already retired, and so the percentage is down. But that just means that we have more openings now because of those retirements. And so And we have a very large percentage of our workforce, especially the union workforce, that is eligible for retirement. And people retire. I get a report every month of new retirements. And so all those retirements require replacement. And so we hire in these positions, like the appliance technician position I was talking to, we're about going into people's homes and working on their appliance and such. We'll hire about 100 of those employees in the coming year, and similar numbers for other types of construction type of jobs as well. So there are jobs available, but of course those jobs are throughout our service territory. Some of them are going to be in Visalia. Some of them are going to be in Bakersfield. Some of them are going to be in Anaheim. Some are going to be in Blythe. I mean, so it's all around our service territory. The vast majority of them are going to be in the LA Orange County area because that's where the population is. But those jobs are going to, could be anywhere in the service territory.
I see a message from Israel who joined us, and he said he's going to be finishing his GED. So good luck to you with that.
I think that's great.
Actually brings up something that John can talk a little bit more about. But we actually have programs where we've worked with local community colleges, and we're looking for so for people who are training in like the construction and utilities programs, there's been programs where we do a pilot, hire them during the season when we go to light people's furnaces when it gets cold. So sometimes going through the community college and taking courses in construction can help you learn more about how to get into the company if you need a little more training before you start.
Yeah, absolutely. The community colleges are a great avenue to get the type of certification that you may need in HVAC, heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. That's kind of our gold standard. If you get a certification in HVAC, that will help you meet the minimum requirements for the job. And so we're going out to community colleges and we're partnering with them. LA Trade Tech, San Bernardino Valley College, Kern County Community College District, Riverside. We're out there looking at community colleges and recruiting from those programs and partnering with them to not only to get their graduates, but also to share curriculum with them. The type of curriculum that we use in our training, once we hire somebody, we train them, we're giving them some of that curriculum to add to their programs.
Denise, tengo una pregunta, creo que es una pregunta válida. ¿Qué es lo que más te gusta de tu trabajo en SoCal Gas?
Yo tengo, como comentamos, hay muchas oportunidades para todo tipo de empleo, sean las personas que trabajan en la construcción, a los que trabajamos en comunicaciones. Por ejemplo, para mí, yo trabajo en relaciones públicas, entonces lo que me encanta es que cada día es diferente. Cada día, ahorita las cosas han cambiado por el COVID, entonces estamos trabajando en casa en vez de la oficina, pero estamos para asistir al cliente. Entonces, en mi puesto, estoy en el equipo de relaciones públicas, asistimos a organizaciones sin fines de lucro, entonces tenemos fondos para ayudar. Este año hemos ayudado a varias organizaciones que nos han pedido ayuda para proveer comida para la comunidad en general. Hay mucha necesidad. También soy la persona que trabaja de relaciones de gobierno con las ciudades locales. Entonces, es un poquito de todo, y también he trabajado en varias entrevistas en Univisión y Telemundo y hablando con los medios en español, así es que ha sido una buena oportunidad para mí para usar el español que mis papás me enseñaron. Pero en realidad es una compañía grande, entonces como dijo John, hay puestos en comunicaciones, en relaciones públicas, finanzas, de muchos diferentes tipos de puestos.
And this is a question for both of you, for both John and Denise. How many offices are there in Southern California approximately? ¿Cuántas oficinas hay en el sur de California aproximadamente?
Well, we have a great many. I don't have an exact number, but we have a great many operational bases throughout our service territory. But we have also several headquarters, and that's where most of the professional level positions are out of. That would be downtown Los Angeles, in Chatsworth, in Anaheim, in Compton, and out in Redlands. So those are the various headquarters. But out of those headquarters, we have bases of operations, you know, and there are dozens and dozens and dozens of them throughout the service territory that where more of the field employees work out of. And as I mentioned earlier, we have the two large call centers, one in San Dimas and one in Redlands.
And that's great because it really gives people the flexibility, you know, if they live close enough, they can choose to apply for jobs that may be open in, like you said, Redlands, as opposed to Compton, and maybe too far from them.
Absolutely, and as I said earlier, there's a lot of movement within the company. Once you're in, there's opportunities to do things. And what I usually try to tell people that you have movement in two ways. You can move vertically, you can move horizontally. And vertically meaning you're going up the ladder, you're making more money, you're getting more responsibility, you're changing jobs, you're being promoted. But also, in that horizontal movement is important because in order to get into the gas company, you may have to take a job where you're going to have to drive maybe 30, 40, 50 miles to get to work. But once you've been here, then you have that opportunity to move horizontally and get closer to home and to continue to do that, where you may live in Riverside and you may have to take a job in Anaheim. But after 3 or 4 years of doing that, you may be able to get a little bit closer and a little bit closer. And before you know it, you're working in Riverside. And so that's kind of the goal and what most people shoot for when they come to the company is they may have to accept a longer commute to begin with, but once they're here, they can move closer and closer to home.
And, one of the things I guess you mentioned, John, and both you and Denise had said, is the fact that you guys exhaust every resource within to promote people. You guys look within your organization to improve your organization from within, because I guess that is the best way to do it. People know the company, the culture, and it's the easiest way to do it. So I guess if I'm looking for a job, that's the kind of company I'm looking for.
Well, we certainly hope so. That's why we do this to be able to tell people that once you're in, and you have all sorts of opportunities. And the company also supports your continued education. There's a tuition reimbursement program where you can continue your college education to go to that next promotion and to get the training and education you need up to just under $6,000 a year, so they can indeed position themselves for those promotions.
That's great. That's great. So, guys, it's almost 10 a.m. We have about 15 minutes left. I don't know if you guys want to add anything else that may be relevant to what we're talking today. Denise?
I wanted to share a safety message. Safety is a priority for our company, and we're an earthquake country. So first of all, I hope everyone has their earthquake kits ready and a plan with their family of what to do in case of an emergency. Something that has happened in the past was that if there was an earthquake, some people would want to shut off their gas meter, and that is not necessary. So if there's a gas leak, you will know because you will smell something. And if that's the case, then you can shut it off if you feel like it's safe to do so. But otherwise, you don't need to touch your gas meter. We actually put that odorant inside the gas so people can smell if there's a leak, and that's why there's that smell that's kind of like a skunk. And I'll briefly say it in Spanish. El gas natural no huele a nada, pero le ponemos un olor que huele como a zorrillo, algo muy feo para que la gente sepa si hay un escape de gas. Y estaba comentando que en caso de una emergencia, por ejemplo, en un temblor, antes la gente sentía como que tenían que apagar el gas y no es necesario tocarlo, porque lo que pasa es que en caso de una emergencia, si la gente apaga su gas, tenemos que mandar a empleados a que vayan a checar todos sus appliances, estufa, todo lo demás, antes de prender otra vez el meter. Entonces, no es necesario tocarlo en caso de emergencia. Y si hay un escape de gas, lo van a oler por ese olor que le ponemos para que la gente sepa que hay un escape de gas.
Now, guys, correct me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong. But in case of an earthquake, isn't there like a little box on the pipe where if there's if that box senses movement, it will drop like a bearing, and it would stop the leak.
Yeah, many homes do have those automatic gas shutoff valves. So some do have them.
Perfect. So I guess it is true. So there's a question here. If my English is okay, can I work for SoCal Gas?
John, I'll let you answer that question.
Sure. I guess the important part is, what does it mean by okay? You have to be able to communicate with our customers, and the vast majority of our customers are English speaking. So one of the requirements, one of the most general requirements, much like the high school diploma or GED, is English proficiency. And so that how you define that is somewhat subjective and difficult to know. But again, you do have to, all the application materials, all the testing, all the interviews, everything you're going to do is going to be in English. And so you have to be able to demonstrate proficiency throughout the hiring process in order to continue in the hiring process and to be offered a position. So, you know, it depends on what you mean by okay.
John, you had said that there's several call centers throughout Southern California earlier, and I was wondering, is there a specific Spanish line in these call centers?
There is not a specific line, but when you call in, they will ask you for your language preference, and then it kind of automatically goes to a bilingual customer service rep, just like most call centers that have that electronic functionality. But yeah, we do hire customer service reps in our call centers, and they do get an additional stipend for being bilingual. Bilingual in Spanish, but also in the Asian languages. One of the most difficult populations for us to find in the community to hire are those that are proficient in both English and some of the Asian languages. Just because of being in Southern California, it's not as difficult to find those folks that are bilingual in English and Spanish, just because of the volume. But we do hire Spanish-speaking, bilingual customer service reps as well as other languages, and they do get additional compensation for that language.
Right. Yeah, that's really great. A few minutes ago, I said before we turn it over, and this panel, Denise had helped us here with a couple of tips, safety tips. John, are there any tips that you want to share with us?
Okay, you kind of cut out a minute there, but I think you were referring to some final statements about safety.
Yeah, if you had any tips for us before we leave, and see if you want to say something before we wrap it up.
Absolutely, and I agree with Denise that safety is primary at the gas company, and I like to remind people, especially those coming into the company that are potentially being hired or looking at applying for a job, realize what we do for a living, and that is we supply a commodity that is combustible. Again, this is something that burns, and not only does it burn, but in the wrong circumstances, it will explode. And so safety is so important at the gas company. We drill that into everybody that comes on board, and recognize that if you're going to work on the gas meter or a gas appliance, you need to take every safety precaution. And when we're talking about earthquakes and emergencies and such, again, you don't want to be shutting off your gas. You don't want to be turning your gas back on, certainly, without a trained technician there to help you through that, because it can be quite dangerous if you're not well trained.
Well, I think those great advice. I don't like earthquakes. I don't know anybody that does, and it was a good reminder of what not to do and what to do. Guys, I want to thank you for your time. I really thought you guys had done an amazing job sharing really good information about SoCal Gas and its employment opportunities. So thank you.
Giancarlo, if I can interrupt you, I saw one more question before we sign off.
Yes, please.
And John, maybe you can answer this. What is the biggest type of job at SoCal Gas?
Well, the biggest, I guess, if you define biggest as the one we're recruiting for most frequently, Right now, that would be the gas appliance technician, and that is the person that comes into your home to work on your appliances, to look at the meter, to make sure that the gas is flowing properly into your home. That's kind of the one that we're have the most volume, and probably will for the remainder of the year for those types of positions.
And that's the position that starts at about $34 an hour and is a union job, correct?
That's correct. It's a union job, starts at a little over $35 an hour, and it goes up every year.
And just to clarify, you said it was a union job. I assume you have to go into the union first, correct?
No, it's a little different at the gas company. The Utility Workers of America is very specific to the gas industry, so there's not a lot of competition. There's not a lot of other opportunities outside of the utility. So this is a situation where you are hired on at the company, and upon hire, then you join the union.
Oh, okay. Well, that's sort of the opposite in other unions, right?
Right. It's not like the electrical union where you join the union, you go to the union hall, and you get a job out of the union hall. That's a different kind of a different paradigm. You know, this is, you get hired by the company and you join the union. You do have to join the union, however.
Right. John, remind us, what are the requirements for these type of jobs? For this one specifically that pays 34, Denise, you said? Yeah. $34 an hour?
$35 an hour, entry level gas appliance technician.
That's pretty handsome pay.
It certainly is. And minimum qualifications: 1 year of experience working in some kind of construction trade, whether it be plumbing, electrical, carpentry, HVAC, or some kind of appliance repair, even auto mechanic repair. If you've been working that, if you have a year's experience in those kind of mechanical or construction trades, or in lieu of the experience, training at a trade school or a community college, some kind of certification in HVAC, in electrical, in plumbing, those kind of construction trades, or again, auto mechanics as well. So either the certification that you've been trained, or the 1 year of work experience, either one of those will help you meet the minimum qualifications.
You know, I understand that there's a lot of people out there that could probably meet those qualifications, no problem. Probably not me. So I can't help around the house. Not very handy, but I know there's a lot of people out there that certainly can meet those requirements. And boy, that $35, that's pretty impressive.
And you know, when you first hired, you're not going to get a lot of overtime because you're just brand new. You require a lot of supervision. But once you've been here a year, then there's the opportunity for overtime. And again, these technicians are bringing home a handsome paycheck, believe me.
Yeah, that's for sure. Any other positions out there that that you want to share with us that are in high demand in your industry?
Well, right now, again, what's going to be happening in the next 6 months, again, the other type of position, the construction technician, which is more physically demanding, not the person coming into your home, but the person out in the street, digging up the street, using a backhoe, using a jackhammer. Those types of positions, they will probably be coming up within the next 6 months, where we'll be hiring a lot of those types of positions. So the heavier construction is coming. The technician in the home, appliance repair is where we're at now, but those heavier construction jobs are coming.
So the heavy construction, and remind us, how much is about the starting pay for a position like that?
That is, I believe, 1 pay grade below the appliance technician.
Okay.
So it's probably more like $33 an hour. So it's
okay. Well, still, that's a great salary.
It's still very good. And again, the promotional opportunities in the appliance technician position, the promotional opportunities are I guess, jump a little slower in terms of how much you make more as you jump from one position to the next. In the construction trades, the entry-level position is a little bit lower than that to start, but the next position up is a big jump. So it goes from one position.
Alfonso nos preguntó dónde pueden registrarse su resume para estas ofertas de trabajo. Pueden visitar socalgas.com y buscar la página de carreras, careers, pero como comentó mi colega John, es necesario tener un diploma de high school o GED y hablar inglés.
Perfecto. John, Denise, by the way, Denise, I can't forget your name because my wife's name's Denise, so I can't forget it. My wife would be very mad if I forgot your name. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for sharing this great information. Les quiero agradecer muchísimo por haber compartido tan buena información. John, anything else that you want to add before we leave?
No, I think we pretty much wrapped it up.
We covered it, right?
Una cosa más. Comentamos que es necesario tener identificación válida y licencia de manejar con un récord limpio para trabajar en SoCal Gas, porque necesitarían manejar los carros o trocas de la compañía. Pero para nuestros clientes, al principio de este taller hablé de descuentos para nuestros clientes. No es necesario tener ningún tipo de documentación. No vamos a verificar inmigración ni nada para que puedan calificar para nuestros programas. Y muchas gracias por invitarnos. It was a pleasure to join you today.
It was great to have you guys. Thank you so much. Muchísimas gracias por estar con nosotros. And I'll take over from now.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Bueno, y seguimos con nuestras sesiones. Aquí, denme un segundito. Ok. Bueno, entonces son las que 10 y 15 casi. Acuérdense que a las 10:30 vamos a tener una sesión Comienza tu negocio con Claudia Shaw, que creo que ya está con nosotros. Eso va a ser a las 10:30. Y para hacerles recordar, si es que quieren participar en los otros talleres, tenemos talleres en el grupo 2, 3 y 4 a las 10:30. Estamos haciendo Comienza tu negocio hoy. En el grupo 2 tenemos cómo iniciar una pequeña empresa y otros recursos. En el grupo 3 es creando el currículum perfecto. En el grupo 4 es cómo encontrar una carrera que realmente ame. Esos talleres los puede encontrar, los enlaces los puede encontrar en superatela.com. Una vez más es superatela.com. O si tienen alguna pregunta también nos pueden llamar al teléfono 855-491-1435 o nos pueden mandar un texto al 643-8445. Una vez más es 323-643-8445. Nos pueden mandar un texto. Y bueno, los dejo por unos minutos. Nos vemos aquí a las 10:30 con Claudia Shaw. Comienza tu negocio hoy. Eso es a las 10:30. Bueno, nos estamos viendo a las 10:30. Gracias por su participación.